But one part which also is still here from the time when this was the port area are some of the warehouses. These warehouses which were originally built 1840 were mostly destroyed during the Second World War. They're on your left right now where the weird red cubes are. Most of them, like before, the entire area here was covered with warehouses. Most of them were destroyed during the Second World War, but these ones survived. So they were renovated in 2009 to be part of the biggest shopping center of the city, the Dún Laoghaire. So they were back then the main attraction of the city, and nowadays as well. We have around 50 shops and restaurants in it, as well as the only Primark of the entire region, and cinema, fitness center and entertainment hall. First we go together to Honfleur, but yes, after Honfleur we'll bring you directly back. But we're actually the second biggest cruise port of France, right after Marseille. From the 1 million visitors Le Havre welcomes each year, 400,000 come like you over our port, so around 40%. Right after that tree on the right, you'll see a small tower which contains the docker's bell. That bell rang 14 times during the 19th century to signal the port workers the start and end of their work shifts. This area here was really busy back then. That's where the main work was done. These port workers also received their payment every evening in cash into their hand, which they spent immediately at the many restaurants around here. So we will soon cross the Normandy Bridge. That's why I hide behind my seat, so you have a better view in here. The Normandy Bridge was built 1959, was finished, and took in total 7 years to be completed. But as soon as it was with 2 kilometers and 141 meters length, the longest cable-stayed bridge in the world. But only for a very short while. Second longest river in France, with 777 kilometers of length, and it flows into the English Channel right here. We can actually see the estuary on the right side, Le Havre, on the left side, Honfleur. The Seine is world famous because it flows through Rouen and especially Paris. Thanks to that fact, the Normandy region itself has also a very special history, because the entrance of the Seine is right here. That's why the Vikings made their way up to the Seine from here and went to attack villages alongside, robbed them, and even tried a few times to attack Paris itself. The king, Charles III, didn't really like that, which is imaginable, so he gave this region as a peace offering to the Vikings, in hope they would protect they did, it was also under the condition that they get baptized in the Christian religion. So from 911 till the 13th century, the Vikings ruled this region as a dukedom for France. These Vikings were known as the Northmen. That's how the Normandy region got its name. These Vikings even founded the city of Honfleur in the 11th century. So this 1,000 years old ancient city has a very rich history, which goes back to these Vikings. This art style. The city is also very famous thanks to the fact that this 1,000 years old ancient city survived the very destructive Second World War without a scratch. Very much in contrast to Le Havre, just on the other side of the Seine, which was destroyed to 80%. So these two places, so close to each other, are just so different, which is very impressive. Honfleur is the perfect example of a traditional French town. Now a few security instructions. Please be careful now. When you cross the streets here in Honfleur, please be careful. Really much of the inhabitants here drive extremely fast.